Alright guys, just got back from a nice hike up in the mountains. I figured I'd show you guys the 3 fire starters that I always have in my backpack when I'm out hiking. So first off, I always carry my fire starters in a plastic waterproof bag. They make some nice ones you can, nice and foldable and breathe, made of canvas or something fancy, but just a good old Ziploc is all I do, and it keeps it nice and dry. Alright, now before we get started on our fire starting methods, I like to have a little tin of tinder, and I've got a little hard candy tin, and it keeps stuff dry pretty well. I tested it's waterproof, and it's got this little lid, which sometimes if I need to put something in a deep fire pit, I can light it up on here, and then I can drop it in, and then it's easier to strike stuff. But in here I've got some cotton balls, some dryer lint, looks like some pine sap from some trees. It's always changing, just whatever I can find that's very flammable. I think today we'll use some cotton. Alright, so our first fire starting method is just a basic cigarette lighter. Now this isn't the best survival fire starter, because it can get wet. There's tiny little mechanical pieces that can break. You can run out of fuel. There's a lot that can go wrong. But I always like to have it for just around camp, or if it's not a truly survival situation and I just need a little fire starter out of my pack. Works pretty good. Alright, let's try a cigarette lighter on a bit of loose cotton. Lights like a charm, no problem. Burns it right out. Alright, let's see here. My next fire starting method is some good fashioned matches. Now I've got them in a waterproof pill bottle container. They're just standardish matches, nothing fancy about them. I don't think they're the waterproof or the strike anywhere kind. They don't need to be. As long as they're in a little waterproof container, in my opinion, you're okay. Now I covered them in little stick-on strikers, and I even put one on the inside of the lid in case if the other ones get wet and fall off, which will probably happen. I'll probably just use this one. And yeah, they just good quality matches. They'll light fires. Got maybe 3 dozen of them in here. This is just a really reliable way, ultra light, to have fire. And work great. Now, one thing is you can get some really cheap matches that as soon as you strike it, the wood snaps. That's no good. You got to get pretty quality ones from a quality brand, Don't buy one for 2 cents at the dollar store. But yeah, just a super easy, small, lightweight way to get some fires going. Alright, let's try our matches on a little bit of fluffed up cotton ball as well. Lights like a charm, no problem. Alright, on to our third method of starting fires. Now this is called a ferro rod or a Ferris rod. This is probably the best fire starting method I've ever used. It's got a similar concept to flint and steel. Note though, I don't carry flint and steel because while it can be really good and some people can be really good with it, for me it's too much struggle, and if I've got cold, freezing hands, I'm starting to hit a fire, I'm not going to be wanting to bang a rock against a piece of metal. So I need something pretty reliable. And these ferro rods, I find, are very much so. So you got your rod here, and there's often a metal. You gotta have a metal striker. You can use the back of your knife too. And you just simply and you get some good sparks there, And it packs up. It's fairly lightweight, but it's quite small. And they come in lots of forms, I like this one because it's free. You can have your hands as far apart as you want. But a lot of them that come in cheap survival kits, like this one, you got your guy here, you can grind it to get some starter shavings. But it's got this little chain here, and it's got a little serrated edge, which is kind of neat for doing it. You're kind of going like, trying to make a spark like this. So this is better than having nothing. You can always take off the chain, but I'd recommend a very quality ferro rod here, like this. This is probably, if there's one fire starter I gotta have, it'd be this guy. Yeah. Alright, on to our ferro rod. Now you might need to bring your hands back a little as the sparks shoot pretty far. Lights it like a charm, no problem. Alright, we've done a quick overview and tested all our fire starters. Now I've touched on some pros and cons lately, but let's go into a little more depth. So let's start with our lighter. So yeah, these are often just really good. I often have them in my pocket when I'm out in the wild, just have a little bit of fire on you. It's helpful, and you can even get the nice ones. You can shave off a bit of plastic, light that up too. Even when it goes out, there's still the sparker thing, which, you know, you can see the sparks coming out even when I'm not hitting the gas. That's gonna be really good, but the thing is unless you get a really high quality one, they can break pretty easy, and even then they can still really break. And they got little mechanics and stuff that sometimes can fail, and cold hands, this is gonna be pretty tricky. Now you get double wide ones and stuff, but then it's just all in the mechanics. So if you're gonna carry this, you should definitely have a well-built one with a full tank of butane or whatever it's burning. Most burn butane. Let's see, what's this one do? Yeah, butane. So just be sure to have a good quality lighter. Alright, on to our matches. So matches, I think, are probably the oldest and tried and true form of starting fire. And it's always classic to carry them in a little waterproof pill bottle like this, and this is just a classic fire starter. Now, one thing is I like to have multiple ways of lighting these matches. You know, I've got guys all around it, little sticky sparkers all around my guy. I have got inside, when I cut off the side of a matchbox, a sparker. And I've got another guy glued onto an old cardboard box. I got some more of those match light sparkers off the sides of the boxes. And in here I got about 3 dozen matches. And these are really hard to screw up. You know, if you get them wet, they're not gonna work. But as long as you keep them in your pill bottle, like this is gonna be good. The thing is that matches can run out. So if you're doing long-term survival, it'd be good to have these, but this wouldn't be good to be your primary method. Alright, on to our ferro rod. Now, as I touched on earlier, this is probably the best fire starting method you could carry. It'll last for a long time. You could soak this sucker in a pond for 5 days and just wipe it off on your shirt. You're good to go. It'll light like a charm. The one I've got has wide grips, so even if I'm cold, I'm using larger body movements to light it, so it's not going to be so hard. I'm not fidgeting with something little with my fingers. It's fairly lightweight. It's very small, fit in your pocket, and it is just super reliable. It'll spark in just about any condition. Get giant sparks. And now let's see, some cons are eventually your ferro rod will wear down. But I have had this one for about 5 years now, and I've used it quite consistently. There's not much damage on it at all. If you were to use it 4 times a day, a lot for years, it would be fine, you know. And yeah, it's just incredible. These are probably the best fire starting method you could carry. But all in all, be sure to have multiple fire starting methods, because if you lose one, or one gets wet, you're gonna always have to have backups, you know. So be sure to be well prepared. Have some tinder, have your fire starters, and be safe out there. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you learned some new things about what fire starters to carry in your pack. Be sure to have them with you every time you go out there hiking, and start some fires. Alright, be sure to like, subscribe. You can hit a little bell button. It tells you when I'm posting a new video. And see you guys in the field.